It looks like Kanye is going to be selling Yeezys for $20 as a part of his presidential campaign for 2024, following his failed bid for the White House in 2020, where he received a total of 70,000 votes. Ye has actually announced that he's officially going to be running again in 2024. In a new interview with X17, he gives us a tour of his LA workshop. In the video, you can see employees sitting behind sewing machines where clothes are laid out on tables and spread across the floor, and some of them are printed with the tagline for his campaign saying Yay 24. Kanye said, "It's simple, we're moving towards the future. I've cut up 100 hoodies from Yeezy, from Balenciaga, from stuff we did with Gap, from stuff we did with Adidas, and everything we do is going to cost $20. So why is he all of a sudden slashing the prices on his designer clothes? Well, he said, "We need to make sure that everyone can receive the same level of cut, the same level of food, the same level of water, and the same level of education." But doing a 180 on the Yeezy prices is actually an interesting move considering how lucrative his brand still is. In 2020, Kanye signed a 10-year deal with Gap to create a line of clothing under the Yeezy Gap brand. It was insanely successful. The first product was a blue puffer jacket that sold out within hours of the launch last year. Then in January, the rapper announced the launch of a Yeezy Gap and Balenciaga line. That was also hugely popular. But by September, his lawyers said they were terminating the partnership with Gap, claiming that the company had failed to meet its obligations by not selling Yeezy Gap branded products at its outlets and failing to open dedicated stores for the brand. Then in early October, Kanye put on a hugely controversial show at Paris Fashion Week, where he wore a WLM t-shirt, which drew widespread condemnation. Add that to the anti-Semitic comments around the same time and he was completely dropped from the high fashion world, something that he worked very hard to get into. But what's even more interesting about his new interview is that Kanye was accompanied by far-right commentator Milo Yiannopoulos, who he referred to as his campaign manager. If you didn't know, Milo is a former writer at the right-wing website Breitbart, and he's known for his hateful stances on feminism and religion, especially Islam, and he's also known to be associated with several anti-Semitic figures. In fact, he's been permanently banned from Twitter since 2016, all for making a series of controversial posts. And he's also been banned from traveling to Australia after his comments about the horrific 2019 massacre in a mosque in New Zealand, which left 50 people dead. But given where Kanye is at now and everything he's said and done, it's not really surprising to see him working with Milo. We know that Kanye was locked out of his Twitter account last month for an unspecified amount of time, following the anti-Semitic comments that he posted. But after returning to the platform just yesterday, it's clear that he hasn't taken any repercussions that he's faced very seriously, because the first thing that he tweeted was just the word shalom, which is the Hebrew word for peace. So it seems like it's all kind of a joke to him at this point. But why are some people saying that he has a better shot at the presidential bid this time around? The first time Kanye indicated his political leanings was when he wore a MAGA hat during a 2018 performance on SNL. His decision to wear the politically charged baseball cap shocked not only his fans, but also his wife at the time, Kim Kardashian. While she admitted that it made her nervous, she ended up defending him and said, "Why should he take it off if that's what he believes in? Why can't he wear that hat on TV? Half of the country voted for Trump, so clearly other people like him also." Then 2 years later, he announced that he was running for president, and after a super late registration, he made only one campaign appearance and released 2 last-minute ads. Due to a string of failures like missed deadlines or not getting enough valid signatures, Kanye only made it onto the ballot in 12 states. Ye's campaign was also marred by multiple pump fakes and accusations of misconduct, which included accepting donations from minors and reports of election fraud. At one point, he was very confident in his chances and said that he would beat Joe Biden by write-in votes alone. So all in all, he simply wasn't taken seriously as a presidential candidate, although some have pointed to the fact that he still managed to win about 70,000 votes. But realistically, we weren't able to gauge the scope of his popularity in 2020, just because he wasn't fully in the race. But even if he did do everything by the book this time around, there's no telling what result he's going to get in 2024. The simple fact is that Kanye is so much more of a divisive figure today than he was 2 years ago, and there's almost no comparison. So what do you think about his announcement? Will you be voting for Kanye as president? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.